All right. I know. I got your attention. I got y'all attention. I got y'all full undivided attention now. Okay, yeah, we got to talk about it. So, if y'all new to the channel, y'all tapped in with the Head of the Game podcast. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, with that being said, what y'all reading the title, now what am I getting at by saying the divided states of America? Because it's all about division. I'm going to just call it for what it is. And then, like I said, we've had a lot of activists. We have a lot of freedom fighters. We have a lot of people that's trying to bring, speak truth to power. And it's no slight on those people because I feel like their intentions and their heart in the right place. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and just call it for what it is. This country is the most hypocritical country, government, civilization, however you want to call it, in human history, right? Follow me. And for those that are just instantly triggered, you already got your mind made up. I'm not trying to change your mind. You can just might as well click off the video. I ain't even talking to y'all. But those that did stay on this video, follow me on this, right? So, we got to address the elephant in the room, which is obvious, right? Founded 17, whatever the case may be. Atlantic slave trade, slaves built this country, so on and so forth. Okay, we have already established that. We already know that already, right? But beneath that, just let me know if you feel like I'm tripping. I know I'm not tripping, but I just want to hear your perspective on it. This country was really never meant for us as black people to have real rights, right? In the kind of, so much so that in the Bill of Rights, you feel me, or the Constitution, more so, they had to have more amendments to eradicate or edify the common or the original norms of this country, which was black people weren't treated as human. Property first, right? And just speaking from a humane aspect, right? Because some people might click on this video, oh, another pro-black woke. This is deeper than being pro-black. This is pure pro-human, right? And if you're not pro-human, I suggest you just get off this. Just get off this channel. There's nothing here for you. You just go on. You just go about your day, right? But those that do care about humanity, right? Just look at the DNA of this soil that we stand on, right? Black people in this country, I can compare it to probably as close as you can get to communism, right? If you look at the justice system, you look at what happens when we speak out, you look what happens when we try to exercise the quote unquote rights we do have, right? So follow me on this, right? If black man gets stopped, unarmed black man, we done heard this story plenty of times. Police brutality, so on and so forth, we get it, right? If that said black man was like, you know what? No fair justice. This justice is biased. F America, right? The number one thing that people would go to would be, oh, well, if you say F America, then you're dishonoring or disrespecting the public service members that serve this country, right? Now, if you look at that on a deeper level, for one, saying F America is exactly what they're fighting for. Oh, you don't know what I mean? This is where I got you. F America, or having a dissatisfaction of how this country is functioning, is exercising the very first right you have, which is freedom of speech. So they're actually fighting for the same thing that you feel like that sentiment doesn't represent. Secondly, if a black man or any black person decides to be a law-abiding citizen, but yet when the police comes up, the untrained police, y'all quote unquote, feel like they're serving and protecting this country, is violating the next person's rights. And in that sentiment, isn't that F America? Because you're trying to take away the rights that the service the service members are fighting for, right? Isn't that F America? Oh, no, not these people. Yeah, that's F America. So, where does that leave everything, right? Because some people are, oh, that's extreme to be calling the black experience communism. Okay, so what do they have in communism, right? They have a hierarchy system where what you're born into can sometimes, not always, but more so likely than likely, dictate the outcome and circumstances you're going to face based off of what environment you're subjected to, right? So, I mean, that's how I look at the communism point. You can't speak out or you're gonna be canceled, right? You can't even exercise your rights. So I'll look at it like, if, back to the previous example, if a black person rights are getting violated, that quote unquote public servant is saying F America because they're trying to deprive the same rights that everybody should have. And then to make things worse, that's the taxpayers' money of that black person going against his own self-interest. Because the public servant is supposed to be protecting the public. But let's take this at a deeper level. Let's not talk about it on a service level. Let's not be naive, right? Let's go one level. If we're adults here, and this is not no conspiracy level, right? This is just another layer to kind of drive this point home. We all know the origin of why the police was there in the first place, right? There were slave catchers. The police industry, along with the justice system, along with the jail system, is all a systematic business to incarcerate and pretty much get slavery back over again. Why do you say that? Or why would I say that? For one, why is it that America has the most people in jail in this whole planet, yet we don't hold the highest population in the whole planet? Something's wrong with that, right? Now, some may say freedom of speech. No. Let's put that aside and let's really drive this point home. If a black person decides to exercise black nepotism, right, which is putting on someone that's related and they're not quote unquote qualified, left and right, vitriol, disrespect, criticism, oh, that's, you didn't earn it. Why is black nepotism so frowned upon? If anything, to a larger point, black success, right? And this is what my problem with the black quote unquote patriots, right? Because y'all so patriotic and y'all so proud of this country. Do you understand that black wealth, to a certain extent, is a representation of the country going backwards? Because the original plan or the original foundation of how this country even became so powerful was because of the ignorant, disenfranchised, oppressed black people. Because so if you have a successful black man, not a rapper, not an entertainer, but a real self-made black man, and this black man is providing the infrastructure to empower other black people in their own community, that in a way, that sentiment is anti-American. That makes people uncomfortable. Oh, why should they deserve? That makes that makes other people uncomfortable. Why do I say that? Well, when you look at most ethnic groups, they all have their power structure. Now, I'm not even gonna go through the list, but y'all get the point. Divided States of America. I mean, there's so many things that's transpired so recently. Stories. And I'm not going to cover these stories because we already are aware of where people stand with the bias of the justice system. Yeah. Lady Liberty, blindfold on, the scale in her hand. And you think them scales is balanced, but the scales are tipped. That blindfold ain't on all the way. You feel me? When a certain person goes in there, blindfold on. When another person goes in there, meta glasses. You know, like, at a point you just become lost for words. Now, it's the last point I'm gonna make. This is the only real life situation I'm going. Now, I'm not gonna sit up there and get to the specifics, but you will know where I'm going with this. So there was an event at the White House, and there was a certain somebody that had to say something about a certain somebody when they won, right? At this point, and this is why I'm gonna hold the black people accountable from this aspect. I'm tired of seeing each other hold each other to the highest standard, but yet when other ethnic groups come to attack, slander, and flat out disrespect us, and I'm gonna say us because we know what it really represents. We're not gonna just act like it's an isolated incident. We ain't got nothing to say. No protest, no BLM, none of that. No, oh, we're gonna fight for freedom and we're gonna do the politically correct thing. No, we should say, forget that. We ain't gonna talk about us like that. We ain't gonna no pay-per-views, no none of that. That's where y'all stand at. That's what y'all condone. We ain't rocking with it. We ain't touching it. This whole video is a multifaceted video. It's to bring awareness. It's also to change the aspect and perspective of those that think a certain way. And to those that aren't susceptible to change because maybe they got something deeper they working through, best luck to you. That's not my job. You let me know when you get to a place where we can have a meaningful, realistic conversation. And I'll leave it at this. To my earlier point, I'm not asking for black people to get equality. I feel like equality for black people is unrealistic in this country. I'm not even asking for fairness. I'm just saying pro-humanity. BLM, Black Lives Matter, the sentiment was pro-humanity, not pro-black. Black Lives Matter too, not Black Lives Matter only. That's why they had All Lives Matter, spun it around. People were coming out as woke, meaning, hey, be aware, wake up out this fake American dream that was never meant for us. And yet they spun it around and now they made woke, being awake, not asleep, being awake is now a bad thing. They want you sleep. What's the opposite if you're not awake? You're asleep. They want you sleep. They want you to sit up there and sweep everything up under the rug while they sit up there and exploit and oppress and just keep going with the status quo. And hey, I'm gonna make this a series. Divided States of America. Y'all hop in the comments. Y'all prove me wrong. Y'all sit up there. Y'all prove me wrong. Y'all sit up there and actually have some statistics that actually back up y'all argument, because it's plain as day. They're not even hiding it at this point. So it is what it is. Leave y'all comments below. Like the video. Most importantly, last but not least, subscribe to the channel. More videos on the way. I'm gone.